Superman crash lands after losing a fight. We don't know who beat him yet, but he's followed by a character named Engineer to the Fortress of Solitude where he's healed up to 83% and goes back to the fight. It turns out he lost to the Hammer of Bravia. He loses again, and there is an immigrant right now that, Lex Luthor takes a note of. Remember him because he's going to be important. Something to note about when Hammer of Bravia and Supes are fighting at the speed of light. This is proven because Soup dodges a laser beam by Ultraman which travels at the speed of light. Lex, being a normal human being, somehow is able to react in time to give Ultraman some necessary move to win the fight. Also, there is a bit of a dialogue issue because one of the characters turns around and says to the other person that Lex has been actually doing research on Superman and has been designing fighting style to counter Superman's move for decades at this point. Which I don't understand. If you're working with Lex Luthor, shouldn't you know that from the first place? Because this type of dialogue is done primarily for the audience so the audience themselves can understand the dialogue. So it turns out the character that was following Superman was the engineer who leads Lex Luthor to the Fortress of Solitude, and at that Fortress of the Solitude, Lex completely destroys all the bot and then also kidnaps Krypto. In the main computer of Superman, Engineer finds this unfinished recording of Superman's parents. There is an implication that Lex Luthor may have falsified the video because Lex Luthor goes to the news and says that Superman has been sent by his parents to conquer Earth and breed with as many women as much as possible to create new race of Kryptonians. Soup turns himself, and Lois actually goes to ask for help from Justice Gang because they don't help her because Superman is sent to Earth to conquer the Earth. Mr. Terrific doesn't exactly offer to help, but he's willing to actually see and what is happening to Superman. Superman actually kind of is being tracked by Mr. Terrific because Mr. Terrific has put a tracking device on Superman. Before they go, they open the door of this garage, and which is very slow. And this is one of the James Gunn problem currently with this movie, which is that he doesn't let the movie have its own time. Like, he feels like he has to include these kind of cliche stupid jokes. But I understand that humor can be really great because his Guardians of the Galaxy is incredibly good. But he's gonna have to recognize that not every single thing has to be Guardians humor, which is fine. Sometimes it just doesn't fit in a movie, which is great. Sometimes it creates the situation for a different humor, and that itself can be great. But James Gunn hasn't done that much, to be honest. So Jimmy actually gets a message from the current Lex Luthor girlfriend who says that Superman is in the pocket dimension. This kind of comes out of nowhere, but it is a very easy way to establish the information supply to the heroes from the bad guys. And there has to be somebody in the Lex Luthor party that is very much motivated to give some information to the heroes, which is a very lazy writing. Superman escapes and Lex Luthor is mad. He throws a pencil at his girlfriend, which obviously makes her mad. So she sends Jimmy a picture that can incriminate him. Again, this is a plot device, but God, it's a lazy writing. At first, they seem like dumb selfies, but Lois figures out that Baravia president is planning to conquer Jahanpur. Superman, of course, won't let that happen, which is why Lex wants to kill Superman. And also, President of Baravia has planned to actually give Lex Luthor half of his country.
So I was able to connect with our contact at Vodafone. Luthor's been selling arms to Gurgos for pennies on the dollar for years. Why he did it in exchange for half of Jahanpur.
While trying to close the rift in the reality, Engineer takes out Mr. Terrific after slamming him on the ground from so high up. He should be dead, but he walks around as if nothing happened. We find that the Ultraman is Soup's clone. That's how Lex got inside the Fortress of Solitude. Soup's beats Ultraman. And then he confronts Lex, and people wanted a debate between them. Lex, who is willing to kill, wouldn't listen, I think. Lex is too evil to change his mind. Maybe an actual debate could be saved for the future movies because evil doesn't change in just a debate. Plus, Superman gets to have you say that he is human just like him, and that is his super strength. And he hopes that that will also be Lex's super strength in the future. So, I think this movie is overall pretty good. I think it's a 6 out of 10. But a very good 6 out of 10. The comedy and some plot holes can actually use some work, But other than that, it's a pretty decent start. I think if they keep on going like this, they will eventually actually have good morale among fans, and eventually they will actually succeed. So, pretty good start.